If you've been following Ubisoft's recent moves closely, you'll know something big is brewing behind the scenes. Not one, not two, but 3 remakes of classic Assassin's Creed titles are reportedly in development. And if these rumors hold up, we're not just talking about visual upgrades, we're talking complete overhauls, full remakes that reimagine the originals with modern gameplay, storytelling, and technology. We've just had a bunch of new details on these remakes, and there's many things to talk about here. There's so much potential with remakes nowadays, and I feel Ubisoft has a chance of getting back on track by releasing ambitious and polished remakes of their older games, because who doesn't like Ubisoft's older games? It would definitely bring back a lot of people like me, so make sure you take a look at the chapters in the video to go to whatever remake you want, and drop a like right now to help me fight the YouTube algorithm. First up is the remake of the original Assassin's Creed, currently codenamed Stardust. While Ubisoft hasn't confirmed it publicly, several reliable sources have linked Stardust to a full reimagining of the 2007 game that started the franchise. The potential here is massive. The original was a groundbreaking concept but was limited by repetition, rigid mechanics, and a story that barely scratched the surface of its setting or characters. A full remake gives Ubisoft the chance to finally deliver on the vision the original game hinted at. A dark, brooding experience centered around the most cold-blooded assassin the series has seen. According to reports, the remake is expected to introduce a dramatically expanded version of the Holy Land. Cities like Damascus, Acre, and Jerusalem are being rebuilt to feel denser, more atmospheric, and far more reactive than before, with dynamic crowds, improved AI, interior spaces, and modern world design that brings these historic cities to life like never before. Mission design could also be getting a complete overhaul. Gone are the repetitive eavesdropping and pickpocketing tasks, replaced by new assassination contracts, stealth infiltration missions, and cinematic story-driven sequences built on the structure of more recent entries like Mirage. According to sources, the Mirage team is working on this remake, and the Mirage game was kind of a tease of the first game as well, letting people know that something about Assassin's Creed 1 is coming. Altair himself is also set to receive the character development that was missing in the original. Expect more dialogue, fully voiced cutscenes, new narrative sequences, and even flashbacks that explore his background and motivations beyond just the Creed. Combat is being redesigned to feel more brutal and deliberate, with weighty animations, bloodier executions, and stealth kills that are quicker and more efficient. This remake could be amazing, and with it being one of my favorite games ever, I just hope they do it justice. Leaked internal Ubisoft documents and development info have revealed that the game, codenamed Obsidian, is already well into production. Originally, it was set to launch in November 2025, aligning with the release of Assassin's Creed Invictus, the franchise's upcoming multiplayer-focused experience. However, with delays in Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft's roadmap has shifted a bit, and we might now see the remake hit shelves in early 2026. The exact timing remains uncertain, but what's clear is that this isn't just a quick cash grab or a basic remaster, it's a full reimagining. Also keep in mind, everything you're seeing on screen is not gameplay from the new remake. This is for background purposes. The Black Flag remake is being built from the ground up using an upgraded version of Ubisoft's Anvil engine, the same tech powering recent entries like Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. This isn't just a cosmetic facelift, the visuals are getting a significant overhaul, and from the early footage we've seen, it's a sight to behold. The Caribbean waters in particular are looking better than ever, clearer, more dynamic, and with a level of detail that makes the original seem almost primitive by comparison. The lush jungles, bustling harbors, and even the ships on the horizon are given a fresh lease on life, all thanks to modern hardware and the enhanced Anvil engine. One of the standout features of Black Flag has always been the naval combat, and Ubisoft Singapore, the studio behind Skull and Bones, is taking the reins for the remake. Expect not only refined ship mechanics but also a deeper ocean ecosystem. The waters will be teeming with marine life, whales, schools of fish, and even dangerous predators like sharks. This level of environmental detail promises to immerse you even further into the world of piracy. Additionally, the dynamic weather systems are reportedly getting a major overhaul, meaning you'll be facing rough seas, heavy fog, and sudden storms that can drastically change the tides of battle, both visually and strategically. But it's not just the visuals and combat that are being updated. The developers are also refining the game's core mechanics. Reports suggest that the combat system will see improvements, focusing on on more advanced techniques and a deeper, more strategic approach to fighting. In particular, enemy AI is getting smarter, making combat encounters feel more challenging and rewarding. If you've ever felt that the original game's combat could be a bit too easy at times, this remake is aiming to fix that. It's also likely that Edward Kenway's abilities and weapons will be more customizable than before, giving players more options for how they approach both land and sea combat. The open world is also being expanded in exciting ways. Ubisoft seems keen to merge the classic Black Flag experience with the more expansive, dynamic open world systems seen in Origins and Odyssey. New content such as side missions, naval quests, and even entire areas to explore will keep players engaged for hours. What's really interesting is the introduction of dynamic world building elements. NPCs will have more interaction with the environment, creating a world that feels alive and responsive. You might see pirate factions clashing on the open seas, or towns and settlements evolving based on the player's action. Another big change is the mission structure. While the original game was praised for its naval content, some found the pacing and structure of its land missions to be a little uneven. The remake is reportedly tightening up the narrative, refining pacing, and adding more engaging side content. Ubisoft is said to be streamlining the experience, making sure the main plot doesn't get overshadowed by too many filler quests. However, we'll still have plenty of room for exploration, treasure hunting, and the pirate lifestyle we all loved in the original. And finally, the third remake, which hasn't been confirmed by name, but the strongest rumors point directly at Assassin's Creed 2. It makes perfect sense. Ezio Auditore is still the most iconic character in the series. His story defined an entire era of Assassin's Creed, and a modern reimagining could be an absolute game changer for anyone out there. Florence, Venice, the Tuscan countryside, all of these cities and villages could be rebuilt with today's tech. Picture golden lights spilling over tiled rooftops, fog rolling through the canals of Venice, crowds with dynamic AI, and full interiors accessible through parkour. The cities could finally feel like living, breathing spaces, not static sandboxes. Ezio's movement system would likely be overhauled with smoother animations and fluid transitions similar to what we saw in Mirage, making free running and stealth feel fast, reactive, and satisfying. It's supposed to be the third and final remake of the upcoming 6-year plan for Ubisoft, and the most ambitious one. There's also an opportunity here to expand the narrative. We could get new scenes that dig deeper into Ezio's family and their political ties. Christina's relationship could be explored in more depth, and the early years Ezio as a reckless young man, you could have a more dramatic, grounded tone. Ubisoft could even include many content that was originally cut or add new side missions that tie into Brotherhood and Revelations, setting up a more cohesive Ezio trilogy from the start. I see a lot of potential with this project. A full remake of AC2 could transform it from a classic into a modern masterpiece. And if Ubisoft plays their cards right, it wouldn't just be a nostalgic trip, it would be a full-scale reintroduction of Ezio for a whole new generation.